Oh, hello everyone. What a start for the evening. Welcome back to Fable 3. I'm Professor McCoy. Hello, good evening. I'm a tad bit early, but I am going to be ending a little bit early tonight as well. So I figured, why not get a couple minutes head start. So, there we go. Cheers. We've got a Dragon's Milk Crimson Keep Red Ale for this evening. It's a good one. And some fresh beef jerky. The fresh podcast that just released last night. It was a little off of my usual weekend schedule, but it is what it is. Recorded it. Oh, I had to record it over the weekend, and so I wound up. Listen, all right. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So I wound up with it a little bit late, just a tad bit. That's all right. I think it was absolutely a worthwhile discussion. I think it was fun. It was a good time. Oh, we just woke up. Oh, that's why I'm yawning. I'm in my jammies. I better change.
Any other business to attend to?
Yes, I have to change out for my jammies.
I hope everything is in order.
There we go. Better. All right. So, we're in our delightful little house in delightful little Brightwall, where we live with our delightful little wife and delightful little kid. But you'll notice, perhaps, was not in his crib. I wonder why.
Anything is much appreciated.
Could it be... Hello, Grace. How are you? I'm doing quite well. Could it be that the wee lad has already grown up into a right strong little chadlet? Look at this guy. Look at this dude.
Daddy, I can't believe it.
Look at little Dave.
Hey!
With his little armor hat. I love it. Which, by the way, I should have it at some point. I don't know if I've ever shown it on stream, but Erica has a hat that's very much like that. It is a knit hat that has a flop down mask and everything as a helmet, like an armor helmet.
Oh, yeah.
What a cute little bugger.
Oh.
Cool as you. So you
All
never
right.
do anything bad.
Okay. Anyway. Isn't he wonderful? All right. So let's see if we have any other side quests to do, and if not, we'll meet. Oh, here we go. Look at that side quest. Oh, wait. Hold on. There's one other side quest. I need to get my Need to get my boy.
By an adventurer, you know.
Hey, bud. Come here, bud. Little Dave. Hey, Lisa. So, anyway, my latest little podcast, stupid little podcast, sorry, was a nice little panel discussion talking about Pope Leo's latest encyclical.
Okay, see you later. I love you lots.
Hello?
She is beautiful. But her beauty... Look at him. He's beautiful. He is absolutely... I cannot find the words. I had forgotten what beauty was. But this child... Oh, he is just... I mean, I cannot even... Thank you. Thank you both. I will now...
What in the millennial writing is this? I will say this was relatively early in the millennial writing era.
So innocent, so sweet.
Not so bad, I guess.
It felt good to let it out. Maybe there is still some goodness in the world. Maybe... Oh, I think I hurt something. Wait.
What is this? It's a portal? Ooh, that's interesting. Huh. That's very different from how demon doors used to work in the first game. Anyway, so yeah, my nice little discussion of Magnifica Humanitas. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. It was nice, decently long, but not overly long, I don't think. Panel discussion with the few semi-regular guests of the channel. Okay. He's throwing up. Okay, okay, right. A little speechless here. Is he peeing? Yeah, he's peeing on the lamppost. Okay. Okay, what is this? A bunch of summoned creatures potions and a bunch of guild seals. Okay then, what's with this? Is this... It's a party, I guess. Fascinating. Okay, that was neat. Very neat. Anyway. Let's see if there's any other quests to do in the library. We actually haven't been back there in a little while. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We will,
Boy, am I glad to see you.
We'll catch a criminal for this guy
Crook on the
first.
run and we need your help.
Our little guardsman over here. Oh, Lisa's got a present for us.
That's great. With your help, we'll get the criminal scum off our streets once and for all.
Thanks, Lisa.
For so long next time.
Okay. Alright, let's find the criminal scum. Let's, see if there are more quests to do in the library. So, Grace, I will of course do what I usually do and interact pretty reliably with the chat. So if you do see me talking to somebody who is not you, then that means they're in the chat. Any lurkers, you are of course. Oh well, I guess the criminal's in the library, isn't it? Or in the academy. Oh, wrong thing. Oh. Oh, they're in Morningwood. Morningwood? Thought it was in Brightwall.
Helping the less fortunate is a
Let's
great
see.
way to stop them going on a
Anyway, though, yes, if I do wind up interacting with someone and you do not see them, it means that there is still a technical problem. No imp simp as of yet, but if you are here, do say hello and feel free to ask your usual or unusual inane questions. I always welcome such things. Absolutely. Okay, it is in Morningwood, so I need to fast travel. I don't want to walk all the way there. It seems excessive.
Mind the flames. They're quite hot, you know. Excellent for... cooking? Anyway, hello, I'm Leslie, and I'm an... Actually, that doesn't matter for now. What I really want to talk about are those layabouts you've probably seen hanging around here, along with their flower-loving, goody two-shoes leader, Reese. They get right up my nose, they do. I mean, it's all peace and love and that. Sickening.
No, I don't...
Nobody knows how to be evil anymore.
No, he's evil. I guess that's the wrong quest? Okay. I guess I didn't pick up the quest, maybe? Let me try. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's make the entrance to the area, okay. Anyway, see, I was reminded, because one significant element of Magnifica Humanitas, that is the Pope's most recent encyclical, is this is the issue of artificial intelligence, and how we interact with this new technology. Right. Part of that involves the question of its of whether it is actually sapient, is a person, is self-aware, has experience. And the Pope's answer, which is correct, of course, is obviously not.
Shouldn't you be out adventuring?
Right? It is obviously not an intelligent person. Right? It is a simulacrum thereof at most, but that's all it ever will be. And so this made me think, made me realize, hey dude, what's up Dave? Thanks. Can I give him a present?
Where'd you get it?
No, I can't. Okay, I thought I could give him a present.
There's nothing we couldn't get.
Anyway. Yeah, so it's this reminds me of a video that I did, I guess a couple of years ago now, before I started my Star Wars EU series. In fact, funny enough, before I had even thoroughly given up on Disney Star Wars.
Another book for the Academy. How wonderful!
I did a video on. I actually did a couple of videos on that one episode of The Mandalorian with Jack Black and Lizzo. That one. But specifically, the video I'm thinking of is you'll find it linked in the description.
Job finding books.
It's about the status of droids in Star Wars, both in the EU and in Disney, Disney version. Now I argue there that the new Disney canon handles the question of droid sentience very poorly, and that really it should do what classic Star Wars has always done and just avoid the issue entirely.
Excellent. His cave was in Mistpeak. The book is probably still there.
Yeah.
Those mercenaries would have had no use for it, except perhaps to wipe some of the old hermit's blood off their swords. Oh, which one is that? I can't wait to have a read.
Book of Mystery. In Mistpeak. Fast travel, I guess. Anyway, though, yeah, it's, I argue in the video that I think the best way that Star Wars can handle the droid question is by not handling it. Essentially by ignoring the question of whether droids are sentient or not, and just treating them as non-sentient by default, and not really raising the question as to how it is that they seem to not only talk, but on occasion actually act as perspective characters. Which, frankly, I think that that's just a writing mistake. Like, they shouldn't be perspective characters. The fact that sometimes droids are treated as perspective characters is probably just a writing flaw, even in the old EU. Like, C-3PO is often a perspective character in, let me think, Courtship of Princess Leia, he's a perspective character in a couple of little bits in the New Jedi Order series. Only a couple of little bits. No whole books. I don't even think any whole chapters now that I think about it. A couple of little sections he is, though. But that probably shouldn't happen, right? Because it implies a sort of an internal life of qualia that non-sentient droids should not strictly have. In any case, the new Disney canon has basically taken the perspective that droids are sapient, or sorry, sentient, then, to use the Star Wars term.
Somebody get that dog! Oh, yes, that was well struck. Sorcery, that. Still standing, mate. Hit him back.
You know what? Fine.
Got it. Got your arms a block, mate. Can't touch us.
Hey. That was annoying. Oh yeah, Grace, you haven't gotten through the podcast yet because falling asleep because you start when you're exhausted. Well, I mean, starting when you're exhausted, especially a relatively intellectual panel discussion about a rather niche topic, is that's asking for trouble. Also, from what I've been told by several other viewers, I do have a voice that is rather conducive to falling asleep. At least that's what I have heard in the past. And so, if that is the case, then sorry that you have not been able to get through it yet, but also you're welcome for curing any possible insomnia. Anyway. Yeah. The point is, I was looking at this old video, which again you'll find linked in the description. It's a longish one actually, because it's one of those it's a response video. It was me reacting and responding to a video from a channel called Nando V Movies, who mostly does like film commentary and that general sort of thing. In this one, he was talking about the new canon's use of droids and how the new canon sort of raises this question of whether droids are just toasters or if they are effectively slaves. And he thinks that the best thing to do is to actually raise the question and answer it and say, yeah, no, droids are slaves, and that is morally problematic for the characters, and then they're going to have to face that as a problem. But I think, and this is kind of what I wind up arguing, that winds up having the same problem as something like the Holdo maneuver. Sure, it might be an interesting topic for discussion, although I will also say it is not an appropriate topic for discussion for Star Wars being a fantasy rather than sci-fi series. That's more of a sci-fi kind of question. But then beyond that, it's also... it brings up the problem that in the, I don't know, roughly 20,000 year history of the Star Wars galaxy having droids,
Xavier Smedley is a unique entry in our rogues gallery of famous killers, in that he's neither famous.
In the 20,000 or so year recorded history of Star Wars, and of the use of droids, no one has ever had the thought, maybe we shouldn't be enslaving these things, right? And that has tremendous implications for all of the characters that have ever existed in the Star Wars galaxy, and that's not good. That's a really terrible storytelling consequence of wanting to tell one neat story in current year Star Wars. Like that's not good. That's really bad. But yeah, I think that it is the wrong question for a series like Star Wars to address, because, like I said, Star Wars is fantasy. It's not science fiction, strictly speaking. And so, I mean, not strictly speaking, but there we go. Anyway, as I was saying, I think that it is the wrong approach for a Star Wars story, and that that Star Wars takes traditionally, that at least the EU traditionally takes what I think is, first of all, the better approach for that kind of story, but then also the more realistic approach, which kind of bucks the trend of a lot of contemporary science fiction, which is to treat droids as objects, or at most like they're animals, right? As if they're like pets. Right. R2-D2 is essentially a beloved pet of the Skywalker family. No, I don't want to sleep. That's how he acts. That's how he is roughly treated. It's just that, you know, he has more capabilities than your average doggo. Then again, Pupper Doggo here is actually, speaking of, I'm gonna actually rename him to Pupper Doggo.
Welcome to the sanctuary.
Keeps meaning to do that. I keep forgetting. Oh, I can type it in. Wow. Oh, I have to... what? Wow, this is antiquated.
Oh, that is catchy. He's bound to enjoy being called that.
Pupper Doggo. Since this is, you know, this game is already a little bit infested with millennial writing, I figure I might as well lean into it, right? Also, I've been calling him that this whole time, so... is what it is. Anyway. Yeah, Pupper Doggo here is a bit more capable than your average pet.
Keep at it. The frog-eyed freak can't block forever. What a magnificent strike.
Champion block, mate.
Straight through his guard.
You don't stand a chance against us. Ha! Cop for that, you filth.
The rest of us are fighting to the death, and you're split.
There we go. Finally got him. Is it here? Grace, what have you been doing for being up for 24 hours plus? Do that. Gosh, I have not done that since college. I think I did it in grad school once. Yeah, I think one time in grad school I did stay up for a little over... Gosh, what was it? It must have been close to 36 hours I was awake. I think it was during my master's comps. Not I think, it was... If I did in fact stay up that long, it was during my master's comps. I mean, you weren't up that long because you wanted to be. Well, who would want to be? The only reason I can envision wanting to be up for that long is a Lord of the Rings Extended Edition trilogy marathon with breaks for meals. That would be a decent enough reason, but that's really all I can think of. In any case, I will say, old Star Wars, the EU, did a really good job of keeping droids as toasters, you know.
Let's do it, lads.
That's a damn arse shooting, that is.
Put your gun away, you... Ah! Over the shoulder! Really?
Wait,
Grace says there are those night owls that can go that long. I'm not naturally one of them. I am naturally a night owl, but that does not mean that I can stay up longer. It's just that I prefer to stay up later and to sleep in. That's the kind of night owl I am. Woo! There we go. Anyway, yeah, that natural tendency of mine to stay up late and sleep in is no. It's not particularly conducive to my current lifestyle, which is morning shifts and young children. But I'm at that stage of life. So, is what it is. What are you going to do? Say lo que sea. So like I was saying, I think that that Star Wars has traditionally done a relatively good job of keeping droids
extracts from the diary of a hermit
in their proper place as essentially toasters.
I have taken leave of the world. All my life I have spoken with my fellow man about truth and meaning, and I have found neither. From this day forth, no more talk. Enlightenment must be earnestly sought, not idly discussed. Anything else is a meaningless distraction. Day 52. Long have I sat in this cave, eating only of the leaves of the golden flower, and meditating upon the divine. Soon I will become at one with the universe. I can feel it. Day 182. Solitude is the great purifier. Perhaps solitude itself is divine.
Kind of, but not quite.
Through its purity, I let go of my earthly self, and in doing so, become one with all.
Aseity, self-reliance,
Day
is
313. As I was meditating in divine silence, really close to becoming one with all, Myra from the village came in to check on me. I told her I was fine, and she left. And now I'm mainly thinking about becoming one with her.
Oh no. The sensuality of the world has drawn you back down out of the mystical. Typical. Utterly typical. Alright. Let's fast travel again. I don't know what happened. I used to fast travel to within zones. Like if I wanted to fast travel to the academy, it would plop me down right in front of it. Ray says, I can stay up late in 3 situations, sitting in a room late with roommates because they don't like warm comfort lighting, even at night. Which, no, I need warm light, especially in the evening when I'm settling for bed. Wait, who doesn't like warm light? What kind of weirdo uses blue light before bed? Or just in general? I do everything possible to ensure the light around me is warm. Well, not everything possible. to be fair, I could probably do a better job at that. But like, for example, I have the the like night light filter type thing, the computer setting. I have that on all the time. I never turn it off on my computer or my phone. Currently, my lighting in this room is from my computer screens, which is not ideal, but it's okay. I've got a candle going over here, and I've got my lamp, which is yes, fine, it's an LED bulb, but it's an orange LED bulb. With a genuine vellum lampshade. A very old vellum lampshade. Which has that just delightful beige tinge to it. Love a good beige.
The Book of Mysteries. Most interesting. I wonder if those who read it will find enlightenment. If not, poor Ignatius died for nothing. Have you read it by any chance? Well, don't tell me how it ends.
Not well.
I look forward to unlocking the mysteries of that book. Of mysteries.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, well done, well done. Another one.
All righty then. Let's
hello.
Let's go change our clothes.
I trust you are finding everything all right?
Put on the armor.
Wonderful.
I know, thanks. How are you doing today? Let's see what kind of upgrades we might need to do, or want to do, or whatever. How millennial of me to love beige. Look, I don't like the color beige. I like beige lighting. Which is to say I like warm light. No, I didn't want that. That was... Shoot. Tremendous waste. Tremendous waste. I did not mean to click that. Darn it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, why not? Alright. Yes. Yeah, no thanks, go on. I did. I drew the distinction between Mormonism and Christianity, broadly speaking. Primarily, I make the distinction in terms of theology. $85 guild seals. Wow. Okay, never mind. I see. I could swear I just heard somebody talking about that, like this past week, maybe on a podcast or something. Yeah, no thanks brings up, and then I ran into the Euthyphro dilemma. Maybe Mormons just answer it the other way. They think God conforms to the pre-existing good. So what do you mean the other way? Do you take the alternative? Because I think that the standard... The relatively standard Christian answer is that it is effectively a false dichotomy. There are two main ways of answering the Euthyphro dilemma that split the horns of the dilemma. Rather than taking one side or the other. No. So on the one hand, that is, of course, avoiding both, I guess what you'd call limited sort of deism, which is something like the Mormon view, but then also avoiding divine command theory, because that has its own very serious problems. But so there are two ways of sort of resolving this. The relatively common way, or I guess the most common way, is that what defines good, or the good, or goodness itself, or however you want to parse that, that definition that is defined by God's nature. So God has a stable, universal, and consistent nature, which is the good itself. And so for God to act, or to choose, or to command, or to will, or whatever, is simply to be good. And it's not that God is constrained by something above him, or that God commands something beneath him, but that God's commands issue from goodness itself, and goodness and God are coterminous at their ultimates. Okay, that's maybe more complicated, but that's the more common standard answer. Then there's the separate natural law answer. The separate natural law answer, which I take to be...
I'm on my way to the castle to report to your brother, and to try to find out what I can about his troop movements while I'm there. Ben's in the back room, arguing with Paige. Not an entirely unexpected situation. Ben seems to have a way with the fairer sex. A strange, troubled way. Tally-o.
The Pip Cheerio. The sort of natural law position, though, is that it isn't that God commands in any way arbitrarily, but rather that divine legislation is fundamentally inseparable from the act of creation. What I mean by that is, given the way that God creates the world, there are certain things about it that are necessarily, based on the way that it is created, good or evil, right or wrong. Take human beings, for example. We are, biologically at least, mortal. Therefore, murder is wrong. The direct intentional killing of another human being is categorically wrong. However, if we were not mortal, say we, my go-to example of this, my favorite example of this, suppose that human beings respawned like video game characters. Murder would therefore no longer be intrinsically wrong. Now, it might be wrong if you are imposing upon somebody unjustly, or you're doing it in order to do something unjust, like to steal someone's loot or whatever. But simply the act of directly intentionally killing somebody would no longer be wrong, because it wouldn't kill them in the same way that it does for actual human beings. And that is not a difference between how God commands whether murder is wrong or not, but rather it's the difference would be how God creates, what kinds of creatures God makes. And so the rules of morality derive entirely from the natures of created things. Right? So that is the other sort of split down the middle of the dilemma. No thanks. As if murder has to do with unjustifiability or in the law itself. Certainly not the law, not positive law. Possibly about unjustifiability, but unjustifiability here just means, again, on the natural law perspective, murder is defined as the direct intentional killing. The direct intentional killing of another human being, or of a human being, because you can murder yourself, right? That's a thing. The way that you get around like the justice requirement is that in warfare, for example, it's not that's either not direct or not intentional. The intent is not to kill the enemy. The intent is to say, take a territory, or to
You should be a model or something.
to defend oneself, right? And if you can do that without killing the enemy, then great, right? So take a war, for example, right? Suppose you and an enemy are exchanging fire. You hit them. They're down. What do you do then? If you take their position and they're still alive, but incapable of continuing the fight, do you finish them off? Right? If so, that would be murder. If not, then you were never intending to kill them in the first place. You were intending them to stop shooting back at you and to stop defending their position. Right? So you're not intending to kill them, you're intending to stop them. Killing isn't even the means, because the end can be accomplished without that means. The means is shooting them. Right. Now, if that results in their death, so be it. Under certain circumstances, that can be justified. Right. If they have in some way or another forfeited their right to life, which is another complex, separate issue, but setting that aside. But in the sort of natural law perspective, the direct intentional killing of a human being is murder, even of a willing human. Right? Again, you can directly intentionally kill oneself, and it's murder. You can directly intentionally kill, say, a patient in a hospital, and even if it is qualifies as euthanasia, it's still murder.
You should be a model or something.
What if you get up to them and they won't surrender? Too bad. Are they an immediate threat to you? If so, stop the threat through the minimal means required. Right, so kick the gun away from them if necessary, right, or whatever. If they are a direct threat to you, end the threat.
Never fancied adventure.
And if that requires their death, then so be it. But if it doesn't, then killing them is unjustified. If they suppose, someone is disarmed at your mercy on the ground and, quote, refuses to surrender, so what? That does not give you a right to kill them. You claim the spot they're incapacitated, they intend to keep killing you. Good luck to them. Okay, cool. Now, if they try anything, sure, you can stop them. And if that winds up killing them, if stopping them results in their death, then so be it. That's their fault. But if they're incapable of even trying to do so, then no, you can't just kill them. That's murder. Because your intention is to kill them.
You should be a model or something.
In any case, right, the point I was getting at was not looking at the specifics of the say commandment against murder. One of the go-to examples here is one of the common medieval examples is adultery. Right? Could God have commanded adultery? Could God have altered his divine commands such that adultery was required rather than prohibited? The strict divine command theorist, somebody like William of Ockham, if we're looking at medievals, would say that yes, if God had commanded adultery, it would have been objectively good. However, a natural law theorist, somebody like Thomas Aquinas, or almost anyone else, would say that no, adultery is wrong not because God prohibits it, but because of the nature of the creatures involved. That we are of a nature monogamous.
Delivery for you.
Right. Now, God could have created us in a different way, such that we were not naturally monogamous. At least hypothetically. it is possible for God to create rational creatures with a different set of natural laws, so to speak. But it would require those different creatures to be fundamentally different in important ways, to have a fundamentally different nature. And so, therefore, to have different natural laws associated with them. Mutton. Nice. We'll take that.
I said before that we soldiers told these stories so as not to miss home. But in truth, I have never felt the sense of that word in any place I have visited, and certainly not in Gunk. Yet, there it was I was raised by my shopkeeping parents, who through no fault of their own, often struggled to keep other things such as shoes on our feet and food on our table. This being the case, my 3 elder brothers and I had no recourse but to find other sources of sustenance, money, and entertainment. Despite my small hands, I was never the equal of my siblings in what constituted the main form of income for all Finns under the age of 15, the picking of pockets. It is possible that even then, though barely 8 years old, I had begun to form some sort of moral objection to such activities. Instead, I found my calling as a street performer, standing in the town square telling jokes and falling over repeatedly.
Did you hear about the man who went through a balmerine forest and messed up his trousers?
I would ask the audience.
No!
Oh, yes. Mormons.
He said
Go on.
Fiends like that, who needs enemies?
Original question.
All right, so it wasn't sophisticated. I was only a child after all, but at least it was honest. Or it would have been had my brothers not taken the opportunity, afforded to them by the villagers' uncouth laughter, to rob them blind. All this accidental aiding and abetting won me the greatest gift I had ever received. For my 11th birthday, my criminal siblings bought me a beautiful pellet gun, and thus it was I found my second talent, a rather surprising accuracy with firearms. It was not long before this ability was put to good use. My brothers set up a fair booth in which they challenged all comers to pit their target practice skills against young Ben. Having fleeced all the local clods, we soon had to rely on traders, passers-by, and occasional tours of neighbouring villages, out of which we would more often than not be run out by the authorities.
So, yeah, he's he's accidentally a criminal, I see. Interesting.
I'm telling you, I downed 3 hollow men with 1 shot, it's true.
I've never trusted a soldier in my life. I'm not going to start now.
Will you tell her, Walter?
Hey, I'm not getting involved.
Look, here he is. Ask him yourself.
Oh, give it a rest.
Fine. I'll just stand here quietly then, shall I?
You know, for a prince, you're a pretty decent person. People out there are starting to believe in you.
I knew you two would get along in the end.
Thank you for taking an interest in my social life, but we have even bigger problems now.
Riva.
He's been bleeding the city dry for years now, but it's never been this bad. We decided it was time to hit back.
A small group of fighters managed to get into his mansion, but they never made it out.
I believe they're alive. You're going to help me find them.
Riva hosts some sort of fancy secret society party every week. We don't know what goes on, but we do know what the guests look like. It's the perfect chance to sneak in.
Here, you'll have to wear this.
Great. Where's my costume? What, I still can't come? What, even after the 3 hollow men story? Honestly, this is as bad as the army.
Now everyone out. I have a party to dress for.
I'll stay and make sure no one spies on you.
Everyone out.
Okay. Wow, that's very eyes wide shut. Yeah, that's really eyes wide shut. Good lord. All right. Jesus. It even comes with a blonde wig. Alright, no thanks says, I thought a lot about your Mormon postulation, but I've also spent a lot of time with Mormons, and I see your point. In my experience, they're wrong Christians. Very Christian, very wrong. So, I think that a good distinction at least a probably good distinction, is one made by Trent Horn when he talks about this issue of whether Mormons are Christian. And he tends to say that Mormons are subjectively Christian, but not objectively. Right? They think of themselves as Christian. They think they are worshiping Jesus. They think they're... Well, no, actually. Well, that's actually an interesting question. I've had this... I've heard very conflicting things about this. That I've heard from some people that... I think I talked about this last week. That Mormons... I've heard this from some Mormons. That they are only to worship the Heavenly Father and not Jesus. And I've heard from others that they do, in fact, worship Jesus. So I don't know what to make of this. Whether this is a sectarian difference, sort of development of doctrine, or what. But yeah, I don't know whether that is a whether that's a genuine, what the genuine Mormon doctrine is there. Oh, no. I have so many evil swords. Could use that one. It's... Hero Sword is so cool, but it's low damage and everything. Wolfsbane is just better. Go with flourishes. I do that enough. And it's just a higher damage, too. Like, I gotta. What about guns? Sorry, I forgot to check on my guns. Yeah, they think of themselves as Christians, but are widely ignorant. Yeah, I think that's probably about right.
Hammers are slower to swing than swords, but they do accomplish quite a bit more flattening.
Consider how it intersects with the Youthbro dilemma. Yeah, I do think that they absolutely take... Like, most of them will very explicitly take the God is in some way obedient to some higher natural law, if you want to call it that. I think it's kind of a misnomer, and or at least it means something very different than what I've been talking about, but something like that. Okay, I need to become friends. Kill nobles, huh? Okay. Humans. Flourisher. 100 enemies in Aurora. 150 at the mercenary shooting range. Plus 25 attractiveness. Wow, okay. Yeah. Evil. Pistol. Low damage. Nah. Alright, I'm sticking with what I got, I guess. The Wolfsbane is something.
starting to have serious doubts about our relationship. I knew I should have been up to the castle with Swifty.
I just love how soldiers can come in and out of our secret hideout. Whatever you do, please don't let Mr. Finn follow you. I've had enough of him for one day. I'll see you at Reaver's Manor.
Indeed. Let's go find Reaver's Manor, shall we? Dressed in our Epstein get-up, I guess. I want to know how I get over there. Oh, good, Grace. You're not having your monthly check issue. Wait, do you mean that you've got it resolved this time, or that it is more generally or indefinitely resolved? Because if the latter, hip hip hooray. If the former, okay. That's good, I guess.
You tried this stuff. Makes you glad to be
Now that's
alive,
what a hero should look like.
This is a kind of a cute little tavern. Oh.
Anything interesting going
The
on?
Rivetter's Rest. Okay, let's keep going.
No one on Bowerstone has better products.
Come in, look at your house. Okay. Look in your house. No. Okay. Oh. Whatever. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about.
I'm sure we'll have what you're looking for.
I bid you good day.
Best goods in Albion, right here in this shop.
Oh yeah, so that's right.
Bowerstone's finest goods.
There was a there's a very interesting and a bit tragic on all sides kind of a story. This guy from, I think it was Cornell, apparently rejected an offer, an internship offer, because he, quote, didn't want to work for Jews. Now, let's just first say the obvious. That is not a wise thing to say, especially, you know, in writing in an email. That's very dumb. But he's 19, so he's going to be dumb. Fine. The other thing, though, is that... yeah, that's kind of a... I don't know if I'd call it a racist attitude, but a chauvinistic attitude, let's say. Right? He's being inappropriately hostile to another group of people, right? That sort of thing. But yeah, the other thing is the Norm Macdonald joke. Yeah, then they doxed him, shared his information, very publicly, and
Oi, you turd! Lay off my mate! Now then, lads, don't bugger
They
this
miss
one
it.
up. Just get it done, nice.
But to fit the Norm Macdonald joke, yeah, they didn't just dox him, but basically they put out a no one should ever work with this guy again. They did their damnedest to make him completely unemployable. Essentially, they were kind of leaning into as many Jewish stereotypes as they could find, which is not good for anti-Semitism, right? Because that is a problem. I don't think people should be, hating Jews. I really don't think that. But like,
Take cover, lads. There's lead in the air. We're gonna kill you anyway, so why not do the decent?
There we go. But yeah, essentially, if the guy was, prejudiced against Jews, and then, and to the extent that he didn't want to work for you, and then what you do is, you try as hard as you possibly can to ruin the guy's life. Are you really going to convince him that maybe you're not so bad after all? Or are you just going to harden both him and everyone who hears about this into stronger and stronger anti-Semitism? Because that's probably how that's going to go. Right? So there's that. That's an aspect of it that is just... There are certain people who just cannot help but play things in the worst possible way for I guess you'd say for public relations, in public relations ways.
Watch out! The bugger's got a gun.
Dude, you don't have a sword. There we go. Now you don't have a head. Oh no. 71, okay, no thanks says, here's one you might like. 71 Jewish girls found in a culvert. They got lost. Brand new tunnel Jews. Were they okay? Hope they were alright. Okay, okay, I will say the tunnel Jews thing was really funny. But and maybe a little disturbing, but very funny. But the other thing too, okay, about the kid who said I don't want to work for Jews. Let's be real about this. He dodged a bullet working for those guys. It's not necessarily that they were Jews per se, but man, I wouldn't want to work with those guys. I would not want to work with a couple of dudes who will try as hard as they possibly can to ruin my life if I said something wrong in an email. Like, ugh. Yeah, no. They were exploring on a picnic or some shit. Okay. Yeah, no, that's very preteen girl. I buy it.
That really does suit you. Brings out the color in your eyes.
Oh, it's Paige, okay.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's go. This is Reaver's Man. Okay. Very nice.
Bit late, aren't you? You missed half the rituals and all the drinking. All we've got left is fizzy pop.
We apologize.
Oh, yeah? Well, just give me the password and we'll forget all about it, all right?
The password?
No, I'm just pulling your leg. Come on in.
Wow, okay.
Master Reeve will be happy to have a few more conscious people around for the final ceremony. I wasn't kidding about the fizzy pop, though. These lightweights drank the lot.
Is everyone...
There's probably some cooking sherry left in the kitchen if you're desperate. Nah, don't blame you. Never touched the stuff myself, well, except in the mornings. I can sort you out a nice orgy later on, should the mood take you. What do you say?
Just keep walking, you strange little man.
Of course, you'll have to pardon me, miss. I do have a habit of spouting the odd vulgarity. Master Reaver has often brought out his whip to rectify that very flaw in my character.
My character.
It's just this way. Oh, you'll have such fun. Not drinks and orgies fun, you know, but it'll be a real laugh, I'm sure. Now, there are some ground rules. Master Reaver insists that nobody carries weapons into the ballroom. There have been some accidents.
I'm afraid I need to keep mine. I'm here to find some friends.
Oh, you're the brave, noble rebels. Why didn't you say so? I'm an oppressed proletarian myself, you know. We're practically comrades. What? If you just go through these doors, you can sneak past the party and rescue your fellow revolutionaries.
Why did that work? So it's a trap, right? This is a trap?
There's one of my men. Kid, are you all right?
Get out, now!
Where are the others?
All dead. Reaver knew you'd come. He's been waiting for you.
What?
Okay, so yeah, trap.
My. More busy little bees here to steal Reaver's honey. So industrious, so committed, so bloody annoying. When will you people learn to enjoy life?
I'll enjoy killing you. Does that count?
Oh, you're just full of spunk, aren't you? A true heroine. You must be lightning under the bedsheets. And now, as promised, the evening's pièce de la résistance. Another piece of the resistance. Voila.
I mean, yeah, no thanks. Fable 3 at least has some communistic elements. Or at least some... Well, because again, it's very 19th century aesthetic.
Show. You expect us to entertain you?
I guess maybe 18th century aesthetic.
It's just a game, my little sweet. The Wheel of Misfortune. It's rather simple. I spin, you die, we watch. Really, it's a riot.
Okay, so yeah, this is a fun little game for them, isn't it? Okay.
Why, no less than the most unsightly, most obnoxious creatures ever to contaminate this world. Super.
Enter the chat. Why? Why would I want to do that? Okay, well, she's going, so I better. Hey, a chest. What's in that? Excuse me. Alright. Please stand by. Well, a health potion. I bet I'll need that.
You will laugh, you will cry, you will have your sinews gnawed upon. Bring out the hobs!
How do you have all of this in your mansion?
I'm rather proud of that shot.
That hob is dead, ladies and gentlemen. He is deceased. He is no more. He has shuffled off this mortal coil. You can say what you like about hobs, but you can't dispute their dress sense. So bold, so original, so fashion-forward. I don't know about you, but I find hobs rather sexy. I like a big mouth. In fact,
gross.
I require a big mouth.
Is it just me, or do they feel squishy when you hit them?
Oh, that hob doesn't know what day it is. Then again, it probably never did. A good hit for the valiant rebel there.
There we go.
Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own size? Poor thing. If anyone would like to donate to my new hob charity, I'll arrange a funeral for the little mite. Or we can just flush it.
There we go. How did that miss?
Oh, that hob's gonna be stiff in the morning. Well, stiffer than usual.
I wounded one. I'm getting hurt over here.
Okay. That's better.
These ugly things are tougher than they look.
He died doing what he loved. Entertaining rich people!
There we go. Hold your death!
Dear me! I hope there are no miners in the audience.
Get away from me!
There we go. All set. I'm gonna decline and press the red button. I mean, look. We don't have an option in this case, I don't think. Could just sit there and die of starvation.
Reaver's worse than I thought. What kind of mind dreams up something like this?
Okay.
Like the tales of my greatest conquests, the wheel simply demands to be spun. What delicious fate will it deliver this time?
Alright, let's see.
Ah!
Hollow Man.
It's just not a
Okay.
real party without the elegant shuffles of these gentlemen. So hello.
Heroes press the blue button.
yet hollow.
Come on. The sooner
I don't
we
know
make
about
our
that.
way
I
through
think
this
heroes
sick
try and
vein, the sooner
convince
we'll get our
everyone to
chance
press the
kill
red button.
Reaver.
Maybe even try and get people to press the red button, or even force people to press the red button. Jesus Christ presses the blue button. Interesting supposition. I kind of...
Commence! Chop, chop!
I think if anything, that's something of a category error.
We've been advised not to call them zombies. The Hollow Man Anti-Defamation League is getting stronger all the time.
Just because, the big thing is that, okay, the most interesting part of the red button, blue button question is that it isn't, that the particular choice has no actual impact on the outcome. Right? You choosing red or choosing blue has no actual impact on the outcome.
How can these things even walk?
So you're not saving anyone by pressing blue. What you're doing is you're hoping that a whole lot of other people will press blue.
You should have bought some of Hatch's undead insurance, guaranteed to pay out in the event of a zombie apocalypse. Thank you. It may have been struck, but it will never stop. Unless, of course, it's struck a few more times and falls over.
I might need a bit of help here.
Okay, here you go.
What a wonderful spectacle this is turning out to be, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to tell your grandchildren you were here. Do dead men feel pain? You might want to ask that fella. Ah, the satisfying sound of a corpse being thoroughly thrashed. Don't you love it? It's a Hollow Man massacre.
It kind of has moral implications in a weird sense, though. But only in a weird sense, right? It's not that...
Oh, what a shame. Cut down in the prime of death.
What's in there? Nothing.
Oh, I hope that wound isn't of a grave nature. I know. I'm terribly sorry. It won't happen again.
There we go.
What a heartbreaking performance. The poetry of life and death was unmistakable.
What can you say about the character of a person who presses red? I think that a large part of it can be a knowledge question, right?
I'd read about
whether or not somebody has a proper understanding of
this better end soon.
Of democracy, of public choice, of things like that, right? You're on a population level. Your decision to press red or blue makes no difference. The chances of your vote making the difference are statistically zero. Right. So the difference really is, the only choice really is, do you press red and live, or do you press blue and maybe die?
With gold
Right,
I took from the people, but still, they'd better not
I think the moral obligation you have is to do all you possibly can.
Mercenaries.
Convince more
Finally,
people, especially people you
something
care
I know
about,
how
but
to
people in
fight.
general, to convince people to press red. I think that is the moral implication. The morally significant decision.
Their literacy may be lacking, but they do have a way with swords.
And the other types might press red. I mean,
Stay away from me!
people who are in some way afraid of other people. Anyone in a sort of low trust society will press blue as well, or will press red. Sorry.
Come on, honestly. Today's mercenaries are just in it for the money.
That's what that. Anyway,
Oh dear, give me a moment. It feels like a death in the family. Okay, next one. Well, that's one way to earn your wages.
You're still standing, mate. Hit him back.
Yes, very good. Keep it up, and I will feed you beer. I believe that is your victual of choice.
Hey, I did not actually say blue is high trust. I said that red is low trust. That's an important distinction, because people in a high trust society may perfectly well still choose red if they understand the full implications of the public choice theory.
The life of a mercenary is a short and brutish one, and it was his first day as well.
We have to get out of this place.
Don't let him get you.
Oh, did that hurt as bad as it looked?
Don't think he'll be able to walk straight for a week after that hit.
Ooh, that was cool.
It's all right, folks. We'll send his payment to his widow, won't we, Reaver?
It helps you.
That'll work.
With more grace this time, if you will. This is not a common slaughterhouse. That's it.
Ow.
We want blood. Fight back, you wimps.
Did I get him? Yeah, okay, good.
As it
Woo,
happens,
that was close.
I was bending the truth about having paid them. It was strictly a no-kill, no-deal arrangement, so you saved me a small fortune. Bravo!
You're welcome.
I've seen terrible things in my time, but never so much death. Reaver's gonna pay for this.
I have seen this much death. In fact, I think I caused this much death on the way here.
Oh, but they're such fun.
and my guests do so enjoy fun. Time for another spin.
Okay, no thanks is
This is a very special round.
best
Wait
case
till you
realistic
see
scenario.
what
What's the
treasures
lowest
I
amount of
have in
blue you
store
think you
for
can get?
next.
I assume you mean that inverted. What, like 35 or 20?
What now? We can't keep fighting forever.
I think that would probably be more like the baseline, frankly. If we remove the sort of performative bias, the fact that people want to be seen as pressing blue, because people see it as pro-social and want to sort of display their pro-sociality and say, oh, I'm a heroic person and I'm going to display my virtue by pressing blue. If it's a secret vote, I think that very clearly north of 80% would press red, regardless of decision theory. What in the hell are those?
I'm getting enough target practice.
Oh, such a shame. Back to the sands with her. Oh no, they've killed one. These sand ladies are tough. It'll take more than that to bury one. Oh, the sand fury couldn't get out of the way in time. It should be a crime to kill such a graceful creature. Somebody please arrest that rebel. Ooh, you should have done that acrobat thing you do.
What just happened? Oh, my sword just upgraded. Okay, cool.
Whatever is under that suit, it's tough.
She could not pirouette away in time. How tragic. Our rebels may have finally met their match. Fingers crossed.
You really have to concentrate to hit one of them.
You're just making them more angry, you know.
There we go. Got one.
I think I'm in love. If you make it out alive, Ruby Looby, my room's on the second floor. Don't be alarmed, ladies and gentlemen. I think she's all right. And
yeah, so I think there would be probably a baseline of about 80% at least who would pick red in a secret vote. If you could actively try and convince people, I think way more than that could be convinced.
Oh, that's a real shame.
To pick red. So I genuinely think that that you could get blue as low as maybe 5%.
Eerie helmets, do you think? A beautiful face? A misshapen monstrosity? I'd rather not find out, truth be told.
Yay, we got him. Best case scenario is honestly, I think it could realistically get well over 90%.
Wasn't that utterly enthralling? Of course, you should be ashamed of yourselves treating
The converse of that is also true. I do not think that you could convince up to 50% of people to press blue in a secret vote. I don't think that's even, like, socially possible. Especially if we're talking world population. Like, because again, I think everyone in a low-trust society would pick red. And more than half the world's population are in extremely low-trust societies.
Always thinking in the simplest, most binary of ways. But
So again, what we're talking about is not can blue get over 50%. I don't think that's possible. It's really a question of how many people are going to get themselves killed. How many people are going to throw themselves into the blender, so to speak. What? See, I kind of got the impression... Ooh, Balverines, that's new. Oh, see, that's... I guess that's why she's here voluntarily.
Brute have any idea how hard it is to find good staff?
Okay, then.
Still,
one might as well enjoy the show. What's the use of a secret society without a little secret, after all?
Half the people are dumber than average. Yep, by definition, absolutely.
Be happening. What are they?
I hope you're finding them amusing to fight. I don't want you to get bored. Such magnificent beasts! The strength, the power, the cute snouts.
It's reassuring to see they can feel pain.
How does it feel to be torn apart by bourgeois balverines,
Bourgeois balverines, really? Okay.
Rip them to shreds! But remember, this makes us even. And now, that is no way to treat my guests. You know, I do believe that you might survive this after all. How wonderfully unexpected.
Got him. How can I expect 90 million or 90% even if how dumb most people are? Because yeah, sure, fine, people are probably dumb, but people are also self-interested, especially if they're not.
That's it, my hirsute guests. Dig in! Dig in!
Whoa! There we go.
This is the last party I take you to.
Well, I must say you've made me out to be a somewhat poor host. Rather rude of you to dispose of all my guests.
Now it's your turn, Reaver.
Excuse me?
Oh, my dear girl, why not stop all this bickering? The three of us could go up to my quarters and have a private party.
Do you have any idea who this is? It's Logan's brother, the Prince.
The King's brother, a bona fide hero. Well, I wouldn't dream of coming between siblings. Well, that's not strictly true. There was that time. Anyway, best of luck with this whole revolution lark. Perhaps we'll meet again one day. Tatty-bye.
Bloody coward.
Would someone mind getting us out of here now?
Patty bye. Oh. So is he the character from the previous game? Oh, interesting. Reaver is deviant. Yeah, no, that's true though. Yeah, no thanks, Ass. Imagine if you knew even one of your children would pick wrong, regression to the mean. Again, I think that...
I never thought I'd side with royal blood, but you're nothing like your brother. The Bowerstone resistance will follow you
without
without
the case,
question.
me choosing blue would make no difference.
So long as you promise to change things.
The only way to actually change things, to save them, essentially, would be to convince them to choose red.
Living in fear, you have to make it stop.
Like, that's what needs to be done.
I promise.
In the exploitation of the people of Bowerstone. Great. So again, I think that this there's one element of this question, of the red button, blue button question, that isn't addressed very often, that doesn't really get much attention. And it is the collectivism issue, right? That choosing blue is essentially, it is choosing not to act in any way yourself, but rather to rely upon most people just doing something, right? It is relying upon the collective for your salvation and the salvation of the masses. Now, that is not just unwise, but I think that is a tremendous shirking of responsibility. Whereas again, I think that individually speaking, I think we have an absolute responsibility to convince as many people as we possibly can that picking red is the right decision. Especially because, again, I anticipate, based on what I know of psychology, that most people will choose red. And so choosing blue is almost certainly death. And so again, it's a matter of the difference between, should I simply unite my actions to the collective and do nothing further, or should I try to actually individually help real, concrete, particular people? And the latter is the right thing to do, not the former, especially if they conflict. Beautiful signature.
All right, then. We should get back. We've got a revolution to plan.
I'm going to change first, because I look ridiculous.
Is now on the wall. I hope everything is in order.
Alright, just the road rule.
You have the support of Bowerstone and its underground resistance, but you still have much to do before you can take Albion's throne.
What's this? Melee weapon damage, scary expressions, gun damage, magic damage. Can I afford all three? Yeah, I can. Actually can. Exactly all three. Yeah, buddy! Alright. Magic. I spent exactly all of my guild seals. Very nice. Alright. Let's go. I wonder if I'll switch out my spells instead of frost. Maybe I'll go with fire and force or something? I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm gonna try out new spells. What speech? Whose speech?
What's going on?
All citizens gather at the castle for the king's message.
Oh.
The speech will commence shortly.
This is never good.
You should find out what it's about. I'd come with you, but there's a reason we stay underground. We'll see you at the base when it's over, all right?
Well, why would I go?
Welcome to the sanctuary.
I don't think I should go. Should I?
The armory is at your disposal.
Nice. Vortex.
That combination is bound to get their attention.
What was that? Ooh, there's a thing under there, under the bridge for me to go find, huh? What's this? Oh, it's a ruby. Cool, okay. Alright, well, let's run it, shall we? Gotta go. Oh, Grace ordered groceries. Nice. Very nice. See, I'm still one of those suckers who goes to the grocery store. At least mostly. And that is, to, of course, even still to say that the only grocery store that we have within about I don't know, 30-ish miles just closed.
The king has an important...
So now to go to the grocery store, we've got to drive, like, I don't know, close to a half an hour. Living in the country has its downsides, to be fair. Overall, I love it. Really. But at the same time, that part is a little bit annoying. I want to test that on someone, please. Please, someone, allow me to murderate you.
For a royal address.
What if I can just... I don't want to know if I can kill that guy. Hold on, let me quick save. No.
King Logan will address his subjects shortly.
Well, that was worth a try, I guess. Fine. Still want to... I kind of want to go back to the underground and see what's up over there. What's she doing? She about?
Reaver rules. Reaver rocks. Oh, I love Reaver's smelly socks. Reaver rules. Reaver rocks.
Absolutely not. I'm not indulging this.
Reaver's smelly socks.
I'm not indulging that.
Well, hello there. I could use your help, you know, cleaning up the streets. I'm ashamed to admit it, but we've had a rash of jailbreaks, and not enough men on duty to track the criminals down. If you could help us out, I'd pay you for your time. Just find them and drag them back here.
Okay.
No doubt they'll put up a fuss, but you can handle it, I'm sure.
Yeah, no thanks says, if we assume that over 50% will certainly pick red, then only convincing others can save them. Yeah, I think that that's actually correct.
Bring him in and I'll lock him up.
Yeah, I do think that that is correct. Okay, that didn't...
This town is becoming more exclusive by the day, so don't
That
be
didn't
shocked.
work at all. Buddy, get your stupid little butt back here.
Okay, fine. You got me.
Okay, let's go back. Yeah, no thanks says the original question did not allow time for convincing. I'd imagine it did. Why is the argument if we all pick blue, nobody dies, not superior to the red version? I mean, that is, in fact, true.
Please don't take me to the gods. They'll only
But
lock me up
also,
again.
not everyone's going to. Like, a large part of it is that, yeah, I do think I can convince most people, even largely altruistic people, that no, most people are not going to pick
Let
blue.
me go. I swear I'm innocent.
And so I think that I could convince most people
The
that the only way to
underpants
survive is to
thief
pick red.
nabbed at last. We'll all be able to rest easier in our beds tonight. You're a real servant of the people. Please, take this for your help.
In large part because that is in fact true, right? Okay, yeah. Look at the money that I'm just racking in passively. Red wins, there's mass deaths. If blue wins, well, we're imagining you get time to convince people. Blue gets to convince people too. I mean, that is true in theory. But I also just don't really think that blue can effectively convince 50% plus 1. I just don't quite think that's plausible. Do I have any property here? I think I do I? Get quests here. Have anything in Silver Pines? No. We do have property in the Merry Camp? Oh, I have a shop here. I don't have a house. But I do have a house. Look at that. I know I've got some stuff in the Dweller Camp too. I mean, blue gets as long as red does to convince. And I generally think that... I'm gonna buy this. I generally think that... there will be a floor.
Whatever happened to that married couple in Brighton?
There will necessarily be some people who still pick red and therefore get themselves killed. Or sorry, who pick blue and thereby get themselves killed. I do think that that is almost certain. But I also think that that is going to be that the longer there is, the more time available to convince, I think that the net shift will be towards red.
If you could round up those loathsome gnomes that Brian unleashed, you'd really be doing the world a favor.
I can buy this. I'm gonna buy this one too. Why not? Is red strictly dominated in terms of game theory? No, actually. Red is strictly dominant in terms of game theory. Because for the individual choosing, there is no downside to red. Now, there's a downside to the majority, to a slim majority choosing red. But that isn't something that the particular chooser has any influence over, any direct influence, any more than punditry
We're
has an
going to break
influence
the
on
record
elections.
for number of customers.
Which, okay, fine. Which, by the way, this is another instance where I think that, for example, I think that punditry has a much greater impact on elections than actually voting. And it's not even close. Right? And again, it's because my vote is statistically insignificant, but my voice may have a much farther reaching impact than one person, right? I still desperately need to find that gnome. Someone look it up. Somebody look it up. Where is the gnome at the Cock and the Crown pub? Somebody look it up for me, please, and thank you. So much notes. I hate gnomes. I hate gnomes.
You'll upset people.
King Logan will address his
I will not upset people if I shoot a gnome. No one will be upset by that.
Your presence is required in the castle for a royal address.
Actually, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put it in the description because there was a... Wow, it's expensive to repair. Hold on. Bob Murphy had a great podcast episode about this a few weeks back. It's because he's primarily an economist, and his area of specialization is game theory. And he made a pretty solid argument that that red is strictly dominant in sort of game theoretical terms.
Slice you open like a melon, you bloody traitor.
Okay, yeah, blue winning is better than red narrowly winning.
To end us.
But that's not what strict dominance
Traitors
means.
would have you believe their cause is noble. They wear
I don't stick
many
out at all.
masks. They may look like your friends. They may even look like your most loyal servants. This is the face of a traitor.
Swift.
Major Swift, a respected member of the army and sworn servant of the kingdom, has plotted against us all. He was apprehended attempting to turn loyal soldiers against us, and is thus charged with espionage, treason, and conspiracy. Yet there are still others darkening our land with their betrayal. We shall hunt these traitors down, wherever they may be, and they shall suffer the same fate as Major Swift, the fate of all enemies of the crown.
He has to be stopped, no matter what it takes. He has to be... Come on, we need to tell the others.
Okay, so first of all, there's two issues here. One is that that's not what strict dominance means. In game theory, a choice is strictly dominant if there is no scenario in which the one choosing is worse off picking that option than the alternative. Right? So the person who picks red would never be better off picking blue. Right? Under no circumstances. Now, under one circumstance, and one circumstance only, would the person picking red, would there be a better outcome overall if he picked blue? And that is if it is a tie and he is the tiebreaker, which is, again, statistically insignificant. That doesn't happen. Right? And that's the other element. Right? The other element is that, yes, the scenario in which the majority pick blue, say a narrow majority, 51% pick blue, is much better than the circumstance in which a narrow majority pick red, you don't get to decide that. You get to decide your vote, which button you press. And in every scenario, it is better for you to pick red rather than blue. Suppose 51% pick blue. It's either better or indifferent for you to pick red. It's indifferent, right? Because you survive it. You survive regardless, and so does everybody else, right? If, suppose 51% pick red, it's obviously better for you to pick red, because otherwise you die, right? Again, there's one circumstance, only one circumstance, in which it is preferable to pick blue over red, and that is if you are the single deciding vote among 8 billion people, which won't happen. That's the thing. The scale still remains individual in game theory, no matter what. Like, always. That is the point of game theory. It is to aggregate individual action into group action, or into a way of predicting group action based on individual choices. That's what game theory is for. And that's why the prisoner's dilemma is a dilemma. It's because betraying is strictly dominant. It is always better for the individual who makes the choice to betray rather than to hold fast. So, yeah. Now, sure, it is a better scenario overall if both people in, say, a prisoner's dilemma say they both maintain, they both don't defect, but neither individual gets to decide that. And even if they can collaborate in advance, they can't decide what the other person will do, and that's part of the definition of game theory. That's part of the point. Again, I don't think it would be 35%. I don't think it would be anywhere close to 35%. Now, unfortunately, it might be. I mean, it would be a significant number. It'd be more. It would be a lot more than zero.
Nice to get them back someday.
But it's also worth noting that is the causal and moral responsibility of whoever or whatever is providing this choice, right? The aliens or whatever. The Epstein class. Doesn't matter. Okay.
You're funny, but looks aren't everything.
Where are you, little fucker? I have to get through the gate to shoot the gnome, don't I?
I was hoping you'd come round. I could use a good laugh.
Oof. That's the thing. You could agree, if everyone got time to collaborate in advance, yeah, you could agree to not snitch. The problem is that once you are in the scenario and no longer in the planning phase, it is still strictly dominant. In other words, it is always beneficial to betray rather than to stay loyal in a classical prisoner's dilemma. That is the point of the prisoner's dilemma, is that it is an intrinsically unstable position. Right? It's necessarily going to be beneficial to all parties. Or no, to each party, not to all parties, to each party to betray.
Lovely.
Interesting.
Let me put it this way. If you have your compatriots' word that they are going to stay loyal, you still know it would be in their best interest to betray you. Again, that's the thing that makes the that's the thing that makes a prisoner's dilemma interesting. Where is the underground? It's in the old quarter? Oh, don't get me started on shopping cart theory. Because I actually think that it is overall detrimental to everyone for anyone to return the shopping cart. And I acknowledge that that is really controversial. But, I sell it. We don't need that. Yeah, again, I think that it's, for the returning the shopping cart question, it is better not to return the shopping cart. Because of opportunity cost and comparative advantage, essentially. Right.
How about it then, love?
So if my time is in any way more valuable than the time that
You certainly are a big,
that someone would spend
hero,
returning the cart,
Farah
whose
lady.
job it is to do it, given that they will be compensated for it, then I ought not to return it.
Can I be of service?
That make sense? Right. Right. So given that, that's the castle, and go the other way. But okay, so let me give a very concrete example.
Join the elite with our
There could be
gems
all
and
sorts of reasons that I might have for not, for valuing my time above the value to anyone and everyone of returning the cart. For example, suppose I just bought ice cream. I live in Florida. I bought ice cream, and I return the shopping cart. It is going to be soft and have to refreeze when I get home. Almost invariably. Because the car is already very hot, and it needs desperately to cool off. Now, I could, theoretically, I suppose... Excuse me?
Well, I'll rip them out.
Yeah, that was interesting. I could theoretically...
You better...
I could at least theoretically...
Hit him back!
There we go. I could theoretically turn on the car and then go return the cart, but that is that's unwise. That's like not a good idea. You should not leave your car running in a parking lot. Like, just don't do that. It's not a smart thing to do. Another possibility, for example, Suppose I've got kids in the car. Suppose I'm going shopping, just me and the kids, small children. Kids who are not big enough to go on their own to take the cart back, but who would need to stay in the car. That's irresponsible of me as well. Right? If I were to leave my kids in the car by themselves, whether it's running or not, that is me being an irresponsible parent. I shouldn't do that. And so, it would be irresponsible of me to leave the car to return the cart. Now, the point is, there are plenty of scenarios where this is the case. In fact, I would argue it's most scenarios. Not all, but most scenarios. For example, another maybe simpler example, right? Suppose my time could be otherwise spent at home with my family. Or suppose I need to get home because I have dinner on, and I ran out to get a specific ingredient, and I know I'm on something of a time crunch. Or whatever. Right? There's all sorts of possibilities here. For why it would not be overall beneficial to me, or to anyone, for me to return the shopping cart. Got him. So, while I can admit there are probably some circumstances under which it is perfectly acceptable and maybe even the right thing to do to return the shopping cart, I think that those circumstances are rare. And in most cases, you probably have a moral obligation to not return the shopping cart. And I think that most people who hold so strongly to shopping cart theory are probably childless urban millennials. Childless because, again, they're not used to having strong responsibilities for children or to others, right? They are not elderly, and so there's no particular effort involved in returning the shopping cart, even back to the store. And they're urban. Maybe not urban. Northern. How about northern? There you go. They don't live in hot enough places where temperatures immediately becomes a factor.
I can tell you can handle a gun, but can you handle me?
Yeah.
Whoa, what the hell was that?
I should have brought some. Beating up on my.
Hey, that dog ought to be muzzled. It's a vicious killer.
Damn you and your magic!
Ow. Ow. I would say that returning the shopping cart is a good thing, all other things equal. Okay? The problem, though, is, of course, all other things are never equal. That's always the problem with these scenarios and situations, right? It's never going to be a simple case of, do I do A or do I do B? Or do I do A or do I not do A? right? It's always going to be a matter of trade-offs and trade-offs and consequences and things like that, right? It's never going to be just a matter of do I return the shopping cart or not. It's rather do I return the shopping cart or do I start my car so that the ice cream doesn't melt? Or do I return my shopping cart or do I get in the car with my kids? Or do I return the shopping cart or do I get home to my family quickly? Do I return the shopping cart even though I am elderly and infirm and that actually presents some measure of risk? Right? Something like that, right? All of these are going to be factors to consider. And if any of those factors apply, then it's going to be the dispreferred, if not outright wrong option to return the shopping cart. There you go. So I do think, okay, sure, there may be some circumstances, again, under which returning the shopping cart is a good idea. Like, for example, I was out shopping today. I was parked in the shade. I was not on a particular rush. And, importantly, the cart return was literally 2 spaces over. It did take me about 10 seconds to return the shopping cart. And I was within, a jump of my vehicle. So I was comfortable hitting the start button, returning the shopping cart and getting in. Right? Under a lot of other circumstances, that would not be a good idea. Or, for example, if I'm shopping with the whole family and, say, my wife's driving and I am finishing loading the groceries, she's already in the car with the kids, with the car started, with the groceries. Then I'll just go and I'll go and return the cart, right? Because now I have somebody else there who can manage the other task just fine, right? In that case, I think that it's a good idea to return the shopping cart. Right? But those are very specific circumstances. Imsip, you had no idea I was streaming tonight. You gotta watch the channel. You gotta watch the announcements channel. I know it's really tempting to turn off notifications for that channel. But man. Can I shoot this bottle? I want to. Yay! Anyway. Alright, that is all I got time for tonight, though. I gotta get going shortly. Gotta get to bed early tonight. So, let's wrap things up for this evening. I have a lot more side quests to do next week. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys on Friday for more Greedfall 2. And if you haven't watched my stupid little podcast episode yet about Magnifica Humanitas, you'll find it in the description. You'll also find that old video I was talking about droid sentience, or AI sapience, if you will, in the Star Wars context. That's from a few years ago, kind of before I gave up on Disney canon completely. But yeah. That was absolutely I think it was very relevant to the discussion we were just having the other night, or that you will have seen last night about Magnifica Humanitas. Oh, real quickly, Imsimp, you need my thoughts on the Ocarina of Time remake? I can just play any of the other versions that are out already. Like, I'll play the original N64 version on the Switch Virtual Console. I'll play my emulated GameCube version right here.
You're under no obligation.
I'll play the 3DS version on my 3DS.
I just can't work out
anything like that, right? I don't necessarily need a remake or remaster or whatever of Ocarina of Time. Yes, it's a fantastic game, cool, fine, but also, like, it may in fact be the best game of all time, but seriously, I don't think it necessarily needs a remake, because it's possibly the best game of all time. So there you go. There's my thoughts. My thoughts are kind of mid. I'm not a big fan, in general, of remakes and remasters of old games. I don't think they're particularly necessary. Unless they're going to do something particularly or specifically unique. Like for example, something I think that was actually worthwhile is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming out, which brought all 3 games together, kind of united their mechanics a bit, and made the transition from one game to the other a little bit more streamlined. But also, I would not have bought it having already owned the old games. The only reason I have Mass Effect Legendary Edition is because it was free for a weekend on Steam. I would not have purchased it.
You have a decidedly noble air about you.
So that's all that is to say. I don't think that remakes and remasters are. I don't think they count as real games. I think they're just a re-release, really, maybe with updates. Same goes for the new Star Fox, by the way. Like, as much as I want a new Star Fox game, I want a new Star Fox game. I don't want just another Star Fox 64 remake. Games have passed my offer this summer. I'm not teaching over the summer. I've got my secondary job over the summer though, that's for sure. Got that going for now. I'm going to be going back in the fall. I'm going to be picking up my PhD program in theology, switching over to theology. So that'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Anyway, yes, no thanks. That is a good idea. Let's. I'll lead an Our Father if that's nice and ecumenical for everybody. So if you'll forgive the sign of the cross, in the name of the Father and the Son, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
You do spend quite a lot of time running around
Holy
the
Spirit.
world. I hope you're not
Amen.
overdoing it.
Good night, everyone. Let's save. And let's get out of here. Good night, everybody. I'll see you all next time. I'll see you on Friday for Greedfall 2. Check out the new podcast if you have not yet. And remember, until next time, don't be safe, be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, folks.